Welcome again. I'm Paul Gray. I'm the provost here on the Berkeley campus, and it's just a tremendous pleasure for me to be able to help welcome all of you to this special event to commemorate the centennial of one of the most important enduring institutions here on the Berkeley campus. This is a special occasion for the Berkeley campus because the Bancroft is such a special place, and I'm really proud to be part of this. I want to convey welcome and support from Chancellor Bergeneau. He would be here. Today is a meeting of the California State Stem Cell Oversight Committee, of which he's a member, and those are do not miss meetings, as you might imagine if you've followed the history of that enterprise. But it's a special occasion, and of course, as most of you know, even though this is a centennial of the Berkeley incarnation of the Bancroft, the actual collection started almost 50 years earlier than that, beginning as the reference collection for Hubert Howe Bancroft around 1860. And a great thing about this occasion is several of the family members are here of the Bancroft family, and I want to just convey a special welcome to them that they could be here for this event. And of course, as you'll hear a lot about later on this morning, by the beginning of the 20th century, the collection had grown to about 50,000 volumes, and Bancroft began to look around for an institutional home. And fortunately for all of us here sitting here today, thanks to the efforts of Henry Moore Stevens, who was a professor of history here at that time, and a building, of course, here named after him, and Benjamin Ide Wheeler, the president at the time, a contract was signed with Bancroft in November of 1905. And as you'll also hear a lot about, I'm sure, the collection almost never made it. The San Francisco earthquake happened a few months after that. Fortunately, the Bancroft Library was one of the few surviving, I think perhaps the only major library surviving in San Francisco, and 2 weeks later it made its way, wended its way over, and finally found its home on the Berkeley campus, but it was a fortunate thing. Benjamin Wheeler was a dominant president of the university. He shaped the campus in a lot of ways, and he was a great believer in libraries, and he's often quoted as saying, the way you build, in effect, the way you build a great university is you build a great library and you let the university grow around it. He really believed that, and the statement that he made to the press when the contract was signed reads, "The purchase of the Bancroft Library marks a great day in the history of the university. It means the emergence of a real university of study and research out of the midst of the colleges of elementary teaching and training." As I read that, I wondered what the deans of those colleges thought when they read that, but he was clearly very committed to libraries, and he's one of the reasons we're here today. And of course, another thing that most of you know, it's kind of ironic, we're celebrating the centennial of the Bancroft presence on the campus, but actually as we sit here and speak, it's not on the campus. It's off campus down on Alston Way, and the Doe Annex building that houses it is undergoing a major earthquake seismic retrofit, as well as a major upgrade and improvement. It's going to make a wonderful new home old home, but renovated home for the collection when it comes back. It's going to cost about $65 million and split between the state of California and the private donations. And a lot of you here are part of the community of people that's helped make that possible, and I think we owe you a tremendous debt for that support. It's going to be a wonderful home for the Bancroft when it does get finished. And of course, we're the $32 million goal. We're at $31 million. We're almost there. A little bit more help needed, but it's certainly assured now that the Bancroft project will go ahead, and the reopening of the facility will happen in the summer of 2008, and there'll be a great party, and you'll all certainly be invited to that, and we're all looking forward to that occasion. So let me turn to the program today. My job is really to introduce that, and particularly our keynote speaker. Charles Faulhaber, who you all know and his colleagues have put together just a wonderful program. I think it's going to be a great 2 days spanning the amazing breadth of the Bancroft collection, and really a glimpse at California and, of course, world history, but especially California through that. And it'll be a fascinating 2 days. It's really gratifying to see that so many of the speakers are Cal grads, PhDs from Cal and other institutions, Berkeley graduate students. It's heartening to know that a whole generation of scholars is continuing to be nurtured on the Bancroft's collections.